Welcome to Workplace English with Ash and Sage. We're glad you're here with us today. Let's begin.
Hey Ash, how's your morning going so far?
Pretty good, actually. I got in a little early today. The office is quiet right now. I like it when it's quiet before things get busy.
Yeah, me too. I like that first part of the morning, just coffee and quiet, before the emails start.
Exactly. Before the emails start. That's a good way to say it, Sage.
You know, I was thinking about something on my way in today. I saw this podcast title. It said Daily Workplace English Practice. And I thought, that's us. That's what we do every day.
That's true. We do this every day. We practice. We talk. We use English at work without even thinking about it sometimes.
Right. And for a lot of people listening, that's the goal, to use English at work without thinking too hard.
Yes, just to feel comfortable, to feel ready.
Exactly. So today, let's just talk like we always do about work, about the day, and the English will come naturally.
I like that. No pressure, just a conversation.
And if you're listening right now, just listen. You don't have to do anything. Just be here with us. That's already good.
Listening is learning, always.
So Ash, what's on your schedule today? What do you have going on?
I have a team meeting at 10, then I need to finish a report before lunch, and in the afternoon, I have a one-on-one with my manager.
Oh, a one-on-one. Those can feel a little stressful sometimes, depending on the topic.
Yeah, but mine are usually okay. My manager is pretty calm. She doesn't make me nervous.
That's lucky. I had a manager once who made me very nervous. Every meeting felt like a test.
I know that feeling. You go in thinking everything is fine, and then you leave wondering if you said the right things.
Exactly. You sit there and you think, did I say that correctly? Was my English okay? Did they understand me?
That's a very real feeling, especially when English is not your first language.
Yes, and you know what? That's completely normal. Everyone feels that sometimes, even people who speak English every day.
That's so true. Even native speakers get nervous in meetings. They worry about saying the wrong thing.
So, if you're listening and you feel nervous about speaking English at work, you are not alone. That's a very normal feeling.
And the more you practice, the more comfortable you feel. It takes time. That's okay.
No rush. Just keep going.
Hey, Sage, can I ask you something? What's the hardest part of using English at work for you?
Good question. For me, it's small talk, like before a meeting starts, when everyone is just talking casually. I never know what to say.
Oh, really? That surprises me. You seem very natural in conversation.
Thank you, but it took time. I used to just sit there and smile. I didn't know how to join in.
What changed?
I started listening more. I noticed what other people said, and I copied it in a natural way.
That's a great strategy. Listen first, then copy, then make it your own.
Exactly. Things like, how was your weekend? Or, did you see that email from the team? Small things, easy things, but they open the door.
Small talk is like a door opener. You say something small, the other person responds, and suddenly you're in a conversation.
Yes, and you don't need big words for that. You just need simple, comfortable phrases.
Simple and comfortable. That's the goal.
Ash, let's talk about some useful phrases for the morning, for when you first arrive at work.
Good idea. Okay, so when you arrive at the office, what do you say to your coworker, the person sitting near you?
I usually say something like, morning, just short, or hey, how are you? Nothing complicated.
Right. Short and friendly. You don't need to say a lot. Just enough to connect.
Or sometimes, how was your commute? That works well because everyone has a commute. Everyone has a small story about the train or the bus.
Oh, that's a good one. How was your commute? Let's say that together. Just feel how it sounds.
How was your commute?
Nice. Easy. You can say that tomorrow morning at your job.
And if someone asks you, you can say, not bad, thanks, or it was okay, a little crowded, or just fine, thanks.
You don't need a long answer. A short, natural answer is perfect.
That's the thing about small talk. It's not about sharing a lot. It's about showing that you're friendly, that you're open.
Just being warm, being present. That's enough.
Now let's think about meetings. Most of us have meetings at work, And meetings in English can feel different from meetings in your own language.
They really can. The speed is different. The style is different. Sometimes people talk very fast or use words you don't know.
And sometimes there's silence, and you think, should I say something? Is it my turn?
That happens to me too, even now. You're in a meeting, someone finishes talking, and there's a pause, and you don't know. Is it done? Do they want a response?
Right. In some cultures, silence means I'm thinking. In English-speaking workplaces, silence can feel awkward. People want someone to speak.
So, a good phrase for that moment is, "That's a good point," or "I agree with that." Very simple, but it fills the space and shows you're listening.
Yes, that's a good point. Let's say that together.
That's a good point.
You can use that in almost any meeting when someone says something and you agree.
And if you want to add something, you can say, "I'd like to add something." Or, "Can I just say one thing?" Very polite, very professional.
Can I just say one thing? I love that phrase. It's gentle. It asks for space without being pushy.
Exactly. And people always say yes because it's a polite request.
Do you use English in your meetings a lot, Ash?
Yes, mostly. Our team has people from different countries, so English is the common language.
And does that feel normal now?
It does, but it wasn't always easy. In the beginning, I used to prepare a lot. Before big meetings, I would write down what I wanted to say, in simple sentences.
That's such a smart strategy. Preparing sentences before a meeting?
It really helped. Even if I didn't use exactly those words, just having them in my head made me feel more confident.
Confidence is so important. And sometimes confidence just comes from preparation, from knowing you have something to say.
Yes, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be ready.
And ready doesn't mean knowing every word. It means knowing a few key phrases for the situation.
Exactly. A few phrases used calmly. That's powerful.
Okay, let's talk about something that comes up in almost every workplace: deadlines. Everyone has deadlines.
Oh yes, deadlines. One of the most common words in any office.
So, what is a deadline for anyone who's just learning the word? A deadline is the last day to finish something, the final date.
For example, the deadline for this project is Friday. That means you must finish it by Friday, not Saturday. Friday.
Yes, and in English, we say meet a deadline. That means you finish on time, before or on the deadline.
Meet a deadline. Not do a deadline or make a deadline. We say meet.
So you might hear, can we meet this deadline? Or, I'm worried we won't meet the deadline.
Let's say it together. Can we meet the deadline?
Can we meet the deadline?
Good. That's a phrase you can use at your job. If you're in a meeting and the team is talking about time, can we meet the deadline is very natural.
And if you need more time, you can say, I might need a little more time. Or, can we extend the deadline?
Can we extend the deadline? Extend means make it longer, move it to a later date.
That's a polite and professional way to ask for more time. Not, I can't finish. Just, can we extend the deadline?
Much calmer, much more professional.
Ash, has your manager ever given you a really tight deadline?
Yes, many times. Last month, actually, she needed a report by Thursday morning, but I only found out on Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, that's stressful. Only one night?
It was, but I stayed calm. I focused on what was most important. I sent a simple version first and then added more detail later.
That's very smart. Sometimes done is better than perfect.
Exactly. A simple, clear report on time is better than a perfect report that is late.
That's actually good life advice, not just English advice.
Right. And in that moment, knowing the right English words helped me. I could write clearly and quickly because I didn't have to think about the language. I just focused on the content.
That's the goal of learning workplace English, not to impress people, but to free up your brain so you can focus on your actual work.
When the words feel natural, you have more energy for your ideas.
I love that. More energy for your ideas. Let's take a small pause for a moment. Just listen. Take a breath. You're doing great just by being here.
That's right. There's no test today, no grade, Just English in the air. Let it settle.
And if you've heard a phrase you want to remember, you can always pause, go back and listen again. That's completely fine.
No rush. This is your time.
Okay, Ash, let's move on to something a lot of people find difficult, giving feedback and receiving feedback.
Oh, that's a big one. Feedback can feel very personal, especially in a second language.
When someone gives you feedback in English and you don't understand a word, you can feel lost. You're not sure if they liked your work or didn't like it.
And sometimes the tone is soft. In English-speaking workplaces, people often soften feedback. They don't say, "This is bad." They say, "There's room for improvement here."
Oh yes, there's room for improvement. That means it's not perfect yet. We can make it better.
Another one, "It's a good start, but..." When you hear "but" after a compliment, listen carefully. That's where the real feedback comes.
So, it's a good start, but we need to change the ending, means the beginning is okay, but the ending has a problem.
Exactly. In English workplaces, feedback is often structured like this. First, something positive, then the area to improve, then maybe encouragement at the end.
Like a sandwich, good bread, then the filling, then good bread again.
That's actually called the feedback sandwich. Some managers use it very intentionally.
I've heard that, and knowing that structure as a listener helps you understand what's really being said.
Yes, when you know the pattern, you can follow the conversation more easily.
So, how do you respond to feedback in a professional way?
A simple and good response is, "Thank you for that feedback," or "I appreciate that. I'll work on it."
I'll work on it. That's a great phrase. It's short, it's positive, it shows you are open.
And if you don't fully understand the feedback, you can say, "Could you explain that a little more?" Or, "Can you give me an example?"
Those are very professional phrases. They show that you want to understand, that you care about doing well.
And asking for clarification is never rude in a professional setting. It's actually a sign of a good worker.
Yes, it means I want to get this right. That's a positive message.
Let's think about giving feedback too. If you need to say something to a coworker, maybe they made a small mistake, how do you say it kindly?
You could start with, I noticed something that might be helpful, or can I share a quick thought?
Can I share a quick thought? That's such a gentle way to open. It doesn't feel like a criticism, it feels like help.
Exactly. And then you say what you noticed, calmly, clearly, without drama.
I noticed the numbers in section 3 might need a second look. You're not saying you made a mistake, you're saying, let's check this together.
That is a more collaborative way of speaking, and it keeps the relationship comfortable.
Workplace relationships are so important, and language plays a big part in that. The words you choose, they affect how people feel around you.
Absolutely. And when you speak English calmly, clearly, and kindly, people respect that, no matter what your accent is.
No matter what your accent is. I want to say that again. Your accent does not matter as much as you think. What matters is clarity and confidence.
Yes, a clear message said calmly is always understood, even if your grammar is not perfect.
People want to understand you. They are on your side, most of the time.
Most of the time, that's fair. Hey, speaking of coworkers, do you have a good relationship with your team, Sage?
I think so. I really like my team. We are from different countries, we have different styles, but we work well together.
What's the secret? What makes the team work well?
Honestly, communication. We talk openly. If something is wrong, we say it. If someone does something good, we say that too.
Positive feedback is just as important as constructive feedback.
Maybe more. People need to hear when they're doing well. It gives them energy to keep going.
Yes, and in English, there are many simple ways to say someone did well. Great job. Well done. That was really helpful.
That was really helpful. I use that a lot. It's specific. It tells the person, what you did helped me. It made a difference.
Specific praise feels more real, more genuine.
Right. Good job is nice, but that report you sent was really clear and easy to follow. That feels much more meaningful.
It does. And it takes just one extra sentence, one more detail, and it changes everything. The small things in language, they matter so much.
They really do. Okay, let's think about something else. Email. Email is a big part of work life for many people.
Oh, emails, yes. Writing emails in English can feel difficult, especially the opening and the closing.
Right. You're not sure how formal to be. Is hi okay? Or do you need dear? In most modern workplaces, hi is completely fine. Even hello is good. Very few offices still use dear sir or madam.
Unless you're writing to someone very senior or in a very formal industry.
Yes, context matters. If you're writing to your manager, hi is usually fine. If you're writing to a new client you've never met, maybe hello or dear feels safer.
And the closing, best regards is always safe, or thanks, or thank you.
Kind regards is also very professional and warm. It's a good all-purpose closing.
What about the body of the email? What's the structure?
Keep it simple. One idea per paragraph, short sentences. Start with why you're writing, then give the details, then tell them what you need.
I'm writing to follow up on our meeting last week. That's a good opening line.
I'm writing to follow up. That phrase is so useful. Let's say it.
I'm writing to follow up.
Good. That's a phrase you can use at your job. If you're in a meeting and the team is talking about time, I'm writing to follow up is very natural.
And could you let me know is a polite way to ask for something. Could you let me know by Friday? Much softer than tell me by Friday. Same meaning, very different feeling.
Language is like that. You can say the same thing many ways, and the way you say it changes how the other person feels.
And when you're learning English, you don't need to know all the ways, just a few. The ones that feel natural, the ones you can remember.
Start with 2 or 3 useful phrases. Use them well, use them often, and then slowly add more.
Slow growth is real growth. Don't try to learn everything at once.
Patience is important in language learning and in work.
Yes, work is a long game. English is a long game. But every day you get a little better, even when it doesn't feel like it.
Even on hard days, even when a meeting didn't go perfectly, you still learn something.
You always learn something. Every conversation, every email, every small talk moment.
It adds up.
It really does.
Okay, Sage, let's shift a little. Let's talk about asking for help, because a lot of people feel embarrassed to ask for help at work, especially in English.
Yes, that's something I see a lot. People stay quiet because they don't want to look like they don't understand, but staying quiet can cause bigger problems.
If you don't understand the task and you don't ask, you might do the wrong thing, and that's worse.
Exactly. Asking for help is professional. It shows self-awareness. It shows that you care about getting it right.
So how do you ask for help in a professional way?
You can say, "Could you clarify that for me?" Or, "I want to make sure I understand. Can you say more about that?"
I want to make sure I understand. That's very professional. It doesn't sound weak, it sounds careful.
Right. And you can also say, "Could you send me the details by email?" If something is complex and you want time to read it.
That's smart. Sometimes it's easier to understand in writing, especially in a second language. You can read it slowly at your own pace.
And there's nothing wrong with that. "Could you send me that in writing?" is a completely normal request.
Even native speakers do that, especially for complex instructions.
So never feel embarrassed to ask. You're not showing weakness, you're showing professionalism.
A good coworker or manager will always respect a clear, polite question.
And if they don't, that says more about them than about you.
That's fair. You're right.
Okay, here's something I want to practice with you and with everyone listening. Let's try a small role play. Just short, very simple.
Okay, I'll be a coworker. You're just arriving at work. I say, "Morning, how are you?"
And a good response, "Morning, I'm good, thanks. A bit tired, but okay. Or just, good, thanks. How about you?
How about you? That's the key turn. You ask back. It shows interest. It keeps the conversation going.
And the other person feels good because you asked about them, too.
Let's try another one. You're in a meeting. I say, I think we should change the deadline to next Monday. And you want to agree.
You could say, that sounds good to me. Or, I think that works. Or, agreed.
Short, clear, confident. You don't need a long sentence to agree.
And if you're not sure, you can say, can I think about that and get back to you?
Can I think about that and get back to you? That's so useful and so professional.
It buys you time without saying no, without saying you're confused.
Yes, it just means I want to consider this carefully, which is always a good thing.
Let's try one more. I'm your manager. I say, I really liked your presentation today. Great work.
And you respond, thank you. I'm really glad to hear that. Or, thank you. I worked hard on it.
Or even just, thank you so much. Simple, warm, grateful.
Sometimes the shortest response is the best.
Receiving compliments can feel awkward in any language, but saying thank you clearly and warmly, that's always right.
In some cultures, people deflect compliments. They say, oh, it was nothing. But in English-speaking workplaces, it's okay to simply say thank you.
Yes, thank you is complete. You don't have to minimize your work.
You did the work. You can receive the compliment.
That's a good reminder for work and for life.
Okay, Sage, let's talk about one more situation. End of the workday. You're leaving the office or logging off from a remote job. What do you say?
The most common phrase is, have a good evening, or just, see you tomorrow.
Very natural, very simple. Have a good one is also very common, a little more casual.
If your coworker had a hard day, you might say, hope the rest of your day gets better, or just, take care.
Take care. 2 words, but very warm. It means, I wish you well. I'm thinking of you.
Language is often about small moments, small words that show you care. And in a workplace, when people feel cared for, the whole environment gets better. People work better together.
That's true. And you can contribute to that with simple English, with warmth, with small phrases used at the right moment.
That's the power of learning language, not just to communicate information, but to connect with people.
That's a beautiful thought, Sage.
Thanks. I feel that way about language. It's not just grammar, it's human connection.
And you don't need to be perfect to connect. You just need to be sincere.
Sincere and clear. That's enough.
More than enough.
Sage, what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who is nervous about using English at work, just starting out?
Honestly, start small. Don't try to give a perfect presentation on day 1. Start with good morning. Start with how are you?
Small steps.
Small steps every day. And every day, those steps get a little bigger without you even realizing it.
And don't compare yourself to others. Someone in your team might speak English fluently, but that's their journey, not yours.
Yes, your English journey is your own, and it's valid, and it's going in the right direction just by listening today.
Just by listening today. I love that. You're already practicing right now.
Every minute of this podcast is a minute of practice, and it's adding up, even if it doesn't feel like it.
And mistakes are part of that. If you say the wrong word in a meeting, it's okay. Most people won't even notice.
And if they do notice, it doesn't matter. You communicated. You tried. That's what counts.
Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Not perfection. Never perfection. Just honest, clear, warm communication.
I think that applies to everyone, not just language learners.
It really does.
Okay, Sage, before we close, let's go through a quick list of phrases we talked about today, things you can use at work starting tomorrow.
Good idea. Let's go slowly.
How was your commute for small talk in the morning?
That's a good point for agreeing in a meeting.
Can I just say one thing? For joining a conversation politely.
Can we meet the deadline? When talking about time and tasks.
Can we extend the deadline when you need more time? I'll work on it when you receive feedback.
Could you clarify that for me? When you need more information.
Can I think about that and get back to you when you need time to decide?
I'm writing to follow up for professional emails.
Have a good evening, or take care when you leave at the end of the day.
10 phrases. Simple, professional, useful at any job.
You don't need to use all of them tomorrow. Pick one, just one, and try it.
One phrase in one real moment. That's a big step.
A real step in your real workplace with real people.
That's where English lives, not in a classroom, at work, in conversations, in emails, in small moments.
Every small moment is practice.
And every practice makes you a little more comfortable.
And a little more comfortable makes you a little more confident.
And a little more confident, that changes everything.
It really does. Ash, I feel like today was a good conversation.
Me too. It felt easy, natural.
That's what we want for everyone listening. This ease, this naturalness, in your own workplace English.
It's possible. It takes time, but it's possible. And you're already moving toward it.
You are, right now.
Just by listening today, you grew a little. You learned something. Maybe you can't feel it yet, but it's there.
Trust the process. Trust your own effort.
And come back tomorrow or the next day, and we'll talk again.
Because conversation is how language grows. Through repetition, through listening, through practice.
And we'll be here.
Always.
You know, Sage, before we say goodbye, I want to talk about one more thing. Something that I think is really important. And that is speaking up in a group.
Oh, yes, that is hard for a lot of people, even confident people.
When there are 5 or 6 people in a meeting, finding your moment to speak, that can feel overwhelming.
Everyone is talking. The conversation moves fast, and by the time you're ready to say something, the topic has already changed.
That happens to me sometimes. I have an idea, I open my mouth, and someone else speaks first.
And then the moment is gone. So what do you do in that situation?
A few things. First, you can write it down. If you have an idea, write a quick note. Then, when there's a pause, you say it.
Write it down. Good advice. It keeps the idea alive while you wait for your turn.
And second, you can use a phrase to enter the conversation. Something like, "Sorry to jump in, but," or "I just want to add something quickly."
Sorry to jump in, but. Let's say that together. Sorry to jump in, but.
That phrase is very common in English meetings. It's polite. It signals, "I have something to say. Please give me a moment."
And most people will pause. They will listen, because you asked politely.
And what if someone talks over you? What if you start speaking and someone else just keeps going?
That can happen. It's frustrating. But you can try again a moment later and say, I'd like to finish my thought. Or, I wasn't quite done.
I wasn't quite done. That's assertive, but still professional. It's not rude. It just says, I have more to say.
Assertive and professional. That combination is very powerful in the workplace.
You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be aggressive, but you can be clear and direct.
And practicing phrases like these gives you that tool, so when the moment comes, you have the words ready.
Ready to use, without thinking too hard.
Exactly.
Let's also talk about remote work. A lot of people now work from home, or in a hybrid way, part home, part office, and the English in that setting can feel different.
Yes, on video calls, it's harder to read body language. You can't see the full room. Sometimes the connection is bad, and it's hard to know when to speak.
The pause on a video call can feel very long and awkward. So useful phrases for video calls, "Can everyone hear me okay?" to check your audio.
Or, sorry, I think I was on mute, because that happens to everyone. Every single person has been on mute by accident at least once.
At least once, probably more.
And when you rejoin the conversation, you can say, "Sorry about that, I was on mute." And everyone understands. No embarrassment needed.
No embarrassment needed because it's universal. It happens everywhere.
And if you didn't hear something, "Sorry, could you repeat that? I had a small connection issue." Very professional, very calm.
You don't have to pretend you heard. It's always better to ask.
Always better to ask. In meetings, in emails, in conversations, asking shows you want to understand.
And understanding is the whole point.
On video calls, you can also say, "I'm going to share my screen now." Before you share, it prepares people.
Yes, small announcements like that make meetings smoother. They help people follow along.
And at the end of a video call, "Thanks everyone, talk soon," or "Have a good rest of the day."
Short, warm, closing the conversation well.
The opening and closing of a meeting, they set the tone. They matter more than people think.
The opening and closing of a meeting make people feel good about the whole experience.
Even if the meeting had some difficult moments in the middle.
Right. The last thing people feel is what they remember.
That's true in life, too.
It really is.
You know, Sage, before we say goodbye, I want to talk about one more thing, something that I think is really important, and that is speaking up in a group.
Oh, yes. That is hard for a lot of people, even confident people.
When there are 5 or 6 people in a meeting, finding your moment to speak, that can feel overwhelming.
Everyone is talking. The conversation moves fast, and by the time you're ready to say something, the topic has already changed.
That happens to me sometimes. I have an idea, I open my mouth, and someone else speaks first.
And then the moment is gone. So what do you do in that situation?
A few things. First, you can write it down. If you have an idea, write a quick note. Then, when there's a pause, you say it.
Write it down. Good advice. It keeps the idea alive while you wait for your turn.
And second, you can use a phrase to enter the conversation. Something like, "Sorry to jump in, but," or "I just want to add something quickly."
Sorry to jump in, but. Let's say that together. Sorry to jump in, but.
That phrase is very common in English meetings. It's polite, it signals, "I have something to say, please give me a moment."
And most people will pause. They will listen, because you asked politely.
And what if someone talks over you? What if you start speaking and someone else just keeps going?
That can happen. It's frustrating, but you can try again a moment later and say, "I'd like to finish my thought." Or, "I wasn't quite done."
I wasn't quite done. That's assertive, but still professional. It's not rude. It just says, "I have more to say."
Assertive and professional. That combination is very powerful in the workplace.
You don't have to be loud, you don't have to be aggressive, but you can be clear and direct.
And practicing phrases like these gives you that tool. So when the moment comes, you have the words ready.
Ready to use without thinking too hard.
Exactly. Let's also talk about remote work. A lot of people now work from home, or in a hybrid way, part home, part office, and the English in that setting can feel different.
Yes, on video calls, it's harder to read body language. You can't see the full room. Sometimes the connection is bad, and it's hard to know when to speak.
The pause on a video call can feel very long and awkward. So useful phrases for video calls, "Can everyone hear me okay?" to check your audio.
Or, "Sorry, I think I was on mute," because that happens to everyone. Every single person has been on mute by accident at least once.
At least once, probably more.
And when you rejoin the conversation, you can say, "Sorry about that, I was on mute," and everyone understands. No embarrassment needed.
No embarrassment needed because it's universal. It happens everywhere.
And if you didn't hear something, "Sorry, could you repeat that? I had a small connection issue." Very professional, very calm.
You don't have to pretend you heard. It's always better to ask.
Always better to ask. In meetings, in emails, in conversations, asking shows you want to understand.
And understanding is the whole point.
On video calls, you can also say, "I'm going to share my screen now." Before you share, it prepares people.
Yes, small announcements like that make meetings smoother. They help people follow along.
And at the end of a video call, "Thanks everyone, talk soon," or "Have a good rest of the day."
Short, warm, closing the conversation well.
The opening and closing of a meeting, they set the tone. They matter more than people think.
The opening and closing of a meeting make people feel good about the whole experience.
Even if the meeting had some difficult moments in the middle.
Right. The last thing people feel is what they remember.
That's true in life, too.
It really is.
Sage, I want to ask, how do you keep your English growing outside of work?
Good question. For me, I listen a lot. Podcasts, while I commute, while I cook, while I do small tasks.
Passive listening is so valuable. You're absorbing rhythm, vocabulary, natural patterns.
Yes. Even when you're not focused completely, some of it goes in. And over time, it becomes part of how you think.
And reading. Short reading. An email, a short article, a news headline. Even 5 minutes a day.
5 minutes a day adds up to a lot over a year.
It really does. The key is consistency, not intensity.
Not studying for 3 hours one day and then nothing for a week, but 5 to 10 minutes every day,
Small and steady wins.
always. And if you have a coworker who speaks English well, try talking with them more in casual moments.
Yes. Real practice with real people. That's the most powerful kind.
Because you learn how people really talk, not just how textbooks say people talk.
Real English has pauses and and short sentences and small filler words like or I mean.
And those small words are okay. They're natural. You don't need to be perfectly smooth all the time.
Real speech has texture. It has personality.
And your personality comes through your English too. As you get more comfortable, more of you shows up in how you speak.
And that's when English starts to feel like yours. Not borrowed, but yours.
That's a beautiful moment in any language journey, when it starts to feel like home.
When the language feels like home. I remember that feeling. It sneaks up on you slowly. And then one day you realize, I'm not translating in my head anymore. I'm just speaking.
That moment is coming for everyone listening. It might feel far away, but it's coming.
Keep going. One day at a time. One conversation at a time.
One podcast episode at a time.
Exactly.
Okay, Ash. Now I really think it's time to close.
You're right. We've covered a lot today.
We have. And to everyone listening, you were with us the whole way. That takes effort. Give yourself credit for that.
Seriously. You chose to spend this time on your English. That's a real commitment. And it matters.
It matters a lot. And every time you come back, it gets a little easier, a little more natural.
And one day, you'll be in a meeting or writing an email or talking to a coworker, and you'll realize, I said that exactly right. And it felt easy.
That moment is worth everything.
It really is.
Thank you for listening today. Take care of yourself. And take care of your English. It's in good hands.
It really is. Bye for now.
Bye. See you next time.